Sierra has all the best active and outdoor brands you need. From athletic stuff, like a full-court pickup game, swish, to athletic-ish stuff, like a half-mile stroll. Get those steps in. And for morning hikes up the mountain trail, good pace. To nighttime ghost stories from the camping chair. What a twist. Whatever level of active, Sierra loves it all. Head to Sierra or Sierra.com for the brands you want at the prices that let you do it all. From athletic to athletic-ish, Sierra's got it.
Monster Energy. Everybody knows White Monster, Zero Ultra. That's the OG. It kicked off this whole zero sugar energy drink thing. But Ultra is a whole lineup now. You've got Strawberry Dreams, Blue Hawaiian, Sunrise, and Vice Guava. And they all bring the Monster Energy punch. So if you've been living in the white can, branch out. Ultra's got a flavor for every vibe. And every single one is zero sugar. Tap the banner to learn more.
This is Optimal Living Daily, Life's Headwinds and Tailwinds by Jay and Heather Harrington of lifeandwhim.com. And I'm Justin Malik. Welcome back to the podcast where I read an article to you every day of the year with permission from the authors so we can both get that little dose of positivity that I think we could all use every day. So with that, let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Life's Headwinds and Tailwinds by Jay and Heather Harrington of lifeandwhim.com. This past weekend, I went for a run. The wind was gusting, and during the first half of my run, I headed straight into it. It was blowing so hard that each step was difficult. The headwind was all I could think about. And then I finally reached my turnaround point. As I planted my foot and turned, the strong wind that had been so difficult to run into suddenly gave me a boost. I remember how great it felt for the first block or so to be propelled instead of impeded by its force. Again, the wind was all I could think about as I began the second half of my run. And then after the first block, I forgot about it. For most of the run back, I was oblivious to the tailwind pushing me along. While at first the tailwind provided great relief, after a minute or two, it just felt normal. I wasn't conscious of this headwind-tailwind experience at the time. It was only later in the day when I popped in my earbuds while taking the dog for a walk that a coincidence occurred that inspired me to explore this issue further. I downloaded and listened to a recent episode of Freakonomics Radio, one of my favorite podcasts, in which the discussion focused on a headwinds-tailwinds asymmetry research paper written by professors Tom Gilovich and Shari Davidai. The paper and the episode both began by explaining the headwinds-tailwinds asymmetrical phenomenon that runners and bicyclists experience and that I had noted in my subconscious earlier that day while out for a jog. They use this phenomenon as a gateway to try to answer a broader, more interesting question: why does life feel so hard sometimes? The professors explained that their research found that most of us feel that we face more obstacles in life than everyone else. This leads to feelings of resentment. We also tend to undervalue the advantages and circumstances that help us. This leads to unhappiness and ungratefulness. An example of the former is that many people believe that their parents were tougher on them than they were on their siblings. An example of the latter is that we discount the role of luck or happenstance when good things come our way and instead attribute our success solely to our own hard work. We also have a tendency to overlook the impact of factors in our lives that the paper's authors call the invisibles, such as our opportunities for education and advancements in health and technology. They cite a great bit by comedian Louis C.K. called "Everything is Amazing and No One Cares" to further illustrate this point. Quote, "I was on an airplane and there was internet, high-speed internet on the airplane. That's the newest thing that I know exists. And I'm sitting on the plane and they go, 'Open up your laptop, you can go on the internet.' And it's fast and I'm watching YouTube clips. I'm on an airplane. Then it breaks down and they apologize. The internet's not working. The guy next to me goes, 'This is bullshit.' Like how quickly the world owes him something he knew existed only 10 seconds ago," end quote. The big problem with this type of asymmetrical thinking is that it leads us to take things for granted and not be nearly as grateful as we ought to be. This matters because an attitude of gratitude leads to all sorts of benefits beyond a present positive state of mind. Numerous studies have shown that feeling more grateful about one's circumstances leads to a multitude of benefits, including more happiness, more friends, better health, and career success, to name a few. This leads to another question. If gratitude is so good for us, why aren't we chasing it more often? The authors suspect that it has to do with what psychologists call the availability bias, which suggests that people tend to overweight experiences that are readily available in our memories. And because life's obstacles, or headwinds, require attention in order to overcome them, they stay top of mind. The things that boost us along, like the wind at our back on a run, don't require as much attention. Hence, we don't feel as grateful as we should because problems crowd out the positives. Gratitude must be cultivated. I think the big takeaway from all of this is that, like most good things in life, gratitude doesn't come easy. Feelings of gratitude are not instinctual or automatic. They must be cultivated. So how does one cultivate feelings of gratitude? Well, I'm certainly no expert in the matter, but I've played around with a few techniques that seem to work. If you stick with them, that is, which I haven't, but nonetheless, they work for others who have made them part of a daily habit. Here are 3 ideas to get more gratitude in your life. Number 1, gratitude journaling. There's nothing like sitting down with pen and paper to focus the mind. And if the point of your writing is to record all of the good things happening in your life, it's hard not to walk away from the exercise feeling more grateful. Multiple studies have shown that a 5-minute-a-day gratitude journaling habit can increase long-term well-being by more than 10%. That's the same amount of impact that is gained by doubling your income. Sounds like a good investment. Number 2, building a stoic mindset. Stoicism is a 2,000-year-old philosophy pioneered by the Greeks and popularized by the Romans. At the root of Stoic philosophy is a mindset that recognizes that while you can't control the circumstances around you, you can control how you react to them. In this way, Stoicism helps keep you from fixating on life's headwinds and frees up mental bandwidth to be grateful for the tailwinds that give you a boost. Want to learn more about Stoicism? Check out Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Workweek podcast. He's a big Stoicism advocate, as well as Ryan Holiday's excellent book, The Obstacle is the Way. Number 3, meditation. When you're caught in a cycle of despair about a negative life circumstance, one of the best ways to step out of it is by consciously calling to mind all that is positive in the situation that is causing you frustration. Cultivating gratitude about the good things in life requires similar mindfulness. A daily meditation practice is a great way to focus the mind and give thanks for who you are, for where you are, for what you have, for your success, and for the success of your friends and loved ones. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share these thoughts with you. It has definitely taken longer than 5 minutes, but writing this post was a great exercise in cultivating gratitude about the positive things in my life. It also made me remember an old Irish blessing that my parents had hanging on the wall in my childhood home, which starts, quote, "May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back," end quote. Here's to fewer headwinds and more tailwinds in all of our lives. You just listened to the post titled, Life's Headwinds and Tailwinds by Jay and Heather Harrington of lifeandwhim.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary. It's common to think about our finances around the new year, maybe paying off debt or saving for a house. But why only track spending when you can also plan and actually achieve your goals? Set yourself up for financial success this year. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts, and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop. Feel aware and in control of your finances this year and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code LIVING. I love that with Monarch, I can see my savings goals and net worth as I get closer to milestones. I feel like it keeps me accountable. Set yourself up for financial success in 2026 with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes proactive money management simple all year long. Use code LIVING at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code LIVING.
Did you know only 6% of people are getting enough fiber? That's why Quaker created Fiber February, a month-long movement to show your gut a little more love. It's like dry January, only easier and more delicious. Quaker has over 100 delicious options that are a good source of fiber. So go buy Quaker Oats today and join the Fiber February movement for a healthy gut.
Thank you to Jay and Heather. Hard to argue against this one. We notice when things are hard, when we're fighting against the wind. But when things are going well, when we have that tailwind, we just kind of forget about it. It becomes normal like everything else. obstacles, and really I think negativity in general, kind of demands our attention. With video, they call it rage bait. People get sucked into things that really get them riled up, and that's the kind of videos they comment on and engage with, and that just spreads more of those videos. But the nice things, the things helping us along, those just kind of fade into the background. I've mentioned before that I've spent hours and hours meditating, sometimes up to 8 hours in a day many years ago. One of the biggest things I took away from that was noticing how my mind works, how it gravitates toward problems and complaints and trying to solve them instead of what's going well. It's like our brains are wired that way. The idea that gratitude has to be cultivated, that it doesn't come naturally, I think that's important to understand because it's not something you do once and you're done. It's ongoing, just like this podcast, the same principle. So good stuff to think about. Thank you to Jay and Heather, and thank you. I appreciate you being here and listening every day. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.